Welcome to this explainer. I'm putting on my industrial engineering hat today because we're going to dive deep into a system that is famous worldwide for transforming absolutely chaotic workspaces into models of pure operational excellence. We're not skipping any details here. We are going to completely demystify the mechanics of this system so you can start shifting how you view the spaces where you work and live.
Picture this for a second. You walk onto a factory floor and it is completely disorganized. Tools are scattered everywhere, random spare parts are mixed up, and workers are wasting precious minutes just hunting for a simple screwdriver. Now contrast that in your mind with a perfectly optimized space. Unnecessary items are totally gone, everything has a crystal clear designated home, and most importantly, if something goes wrong, the abnormality is instantly visible. That's exactly the kind of magic we're unpacking today. Here's our roadmap for the day. First, we'll define what the 5S methodology actually is. Then, we'll break down the 5 core steps of industrial engineering. After that, we'll apply it to reducing waste on the floor, look at how it works literally everywhere else, and finally wrap up with why this is so much more than a cleaning routine. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. What is the 5S methodology? Spoiler alert, it is a highly robust system, not a temporary cleaning campaign.
As engineers, we look at 5S as a systematic methodology designed to actively improve the work environment and drastically reduce waste. But it goes deeper than that. The real goal is to make hidden problems visible instantly and completely prevent them from ever returning. It gets its name from 5 Japanese words that all begin with the letter S. And these aren't just corporate buzzwords, guys. They are a highly sequential blueprint for operational excellence.
Moving on to Section 2, the 5 steps of industrial engineering. This right here is the absolute core blueprint of 5S.
So what are these 5 steps? We've got sort, which is Seiri, set in order, or Seiton, shine, which is Seiso, standardize, known as Seiketsu, and sustain, or Shitsuke. The catch here is you absolutely cannot jump to step 4 without mastering steps 1 through 3 first. They interlock. So let's dive into the mechanical details of that very first step.
Step 1 is sort. This is where we identify what we actually need in the workspace and aggressively separate out the non-essentials. A huge mistake people make is trying to neatly arrange garbage. If you find a tool or a part and you aren't sure if it belongs there, you use a red tag area. You literally attach a red tag to the item detailing 5 things: the item's name, the date you tagged it, the department, the specific reason you're doubting its usefulness, and the person responsible for making the final call. Why so much detail? Because in industrial engineering, we don't just pay for floor space, we pay a massive, hidden tax in time and energy every time we handle unneeded items.
Once we've sorted out the junk, we hit step 2, set in order. And there is a truly fascinating concept here called point of use. We have to ask, where should this item actually live? The rule is a place for everything and everything in its place. Point of use means placing items exactly where the worker needs them physically. Think about it. If a worker uses a specific screw every 20 seconds, they absolutely should not be walking 10 meters to grab it. That is massive waste. We fix this with visual management. We use shadow boards with outlines for tools, color coding, labels, and bright floor lines to guarantee everything has a highly visible, instantly accessible home.
That brings us to step 3, shine. I really want to shatter a myth here. Shine isn't just handing someone a broom. In our world, it literally means clean to inspect. We clean with the specific engineered purpose of uncovering hidden issues. If you're wiping down a machine and you find a puddle of oil, the question isn't who's going to mop this up. The real question is, why is there an oil leak? By cleaning, you spot that loose screw, that frayed cable, or that air leak way before it turns into a catastrophic, expensive machine breakdown.
Now, how do we keep this going? Step 4, standardize. This is where 5S shifts from a fun weekend cleanup into a hardwired system. The reason most factories revert to absolute chaos after just a week is that they lack standardization. We fix this by establishing concrete standard conditions. We put up massive before and after photos right at the workstation so everyone knows exactly what the standard looks like. We write clear, simple shift routines. Maybe at the start of a shift, a worker checks the tools, and at the end, they return them and log any abnormalities.
And that brings us to the 5th, and honestly, the hardest step: sustain. Implementing 5S once is pretty easy. Keeping it alive for a year, that's the ultimate challenge. You can't just hope for the best. You have to implement a visual score audit. We literally grade the workspace. As you can see, each of the 5 elements, sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain, gets scored out of 20 points for a total of 100. We assign clear responsibilities and conduct these audits weekly or monthly. If a station scores low on set and order, we act like engineers. We don't yell, we ask why the system failed, and we fix the root cause.
Section 3. Applying 5S and reducing waste. We've covered the theory. Now let's bring this methodology to life on the floor with a practical scenario.
Imagine an air conditioning assembly line. Before 5S, a worker is constantly hunting for tools, tripping over old parts, and just wasting energy. But after 5S, it's a totally different world. Through sort, all the unneeded items are gone. Through set and order, every single tool and screw bin is localized right at the point of use. Through shine, the machines are so spotless that a tiny fluid leak is detected in minutes. Through standardize, there are visual check sheets posted right on the wall. And through sustain, management is enforcing a quick, periodic audit. The end result is a perfectly synchronized, highly efficient workstation.
And why do we do all this? Because 5S is the ultimate weapon against waste. It directly attacks classic lean wastes. It completely eliminates excess motion, like a worker endlessly searching for a wrench. It cuts down transportation. We stop moving things that just shouldn't be moved. It kills useless inventory, because we've already thrown out the junk. It stops waiting times caused by missing materials. And crucially, it drastically reduces defects, because when everything is color-coded and organized, you virtually eliminate the chance of an operator grabbing the wrong part.
Section 4. 5S everywhere, beyond the factory walls. If you thought this was just for oily factory floors, you're in for a treat.
Look at your PC or your office right now. You can build this exact system digitally. Through sort, you aggressively delete those hundreds of old, unused files. Through set in order, you build a logical, crisp folder structure. Through standardize, you finally kill the chaos of poorly named files. Instead of a desktop littered with files named Final, Final 2, and New Final V3, you standardize a naming convention, something like year, month, day, production, report. And through sustain, you just schedule 10 minutes every Friday to clear out your downloads folder. It works like a charm.
We can even rapidly apply these rules to everyday life, like our kitchens and our cars. The engineering principles are exactly the same. Sort, take those kitchen gadgets you haven't touched in 3 years and get rid of them. Set in order. Assign fixed, logical locations for your daily tools. Standardize. Maybe keep a standard checklist for your car's maintenance in the glove box. Sustain. Build the habit of returning an item to its specific home immediately after you'd use it. It completely removes the clutter and mental friction from your daily life.
And in high-stakes environments, 5S is literal magic. In a hospital, 5S organizes life-saving medical tools and drugs, which completely prevents the tragic mixing of medications. In a massive warehouse, 5S sets fixed locations, ensuring first-in, first-out inventory, reducing the time it takes a forklift to find a pallet, and massively enhancing worker safety. In places like these, 5S doesn't just save time, it actively prevents critical, life-altering errors.
Section 5. Conclusion. More than just cleaning. Let's bring everything back to the ultimate paradigm shift of this explainer. We need to debunk the cleaning company myth for good. Look at this comparison. On the left, mere cleaning simply means the place looks beautiful. That's nice, but it doesn't help operations. On the right side, actual 5S means the place is engineered. It is organized, everything has a defined place, normalcy is highly visible, and the absolute second there is a deviation, a missing tool, an oil leak, a misplaced part, it screams out at you quickly so you can fix it.
To cement your new industrial engineering perspective, I want you to ask yourself these 5 ultimate questions whenever you look at a workspace or a process. 1. Do we actually need this item? 2. If we do, where is its absolute best place for point of use? 3. Is the area clean enough that we can instantly spot a mechanical problem? 4. Is there a highly visible visual standard to guide everyone? And 5. Do we have the audits and the discipline to actually sustain it?
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. 5S is not a cleaning project. 5S is the starting point for building a lean culture. When applied correctly, it doesn't just make your space prettier, it makes it dramatically safer, measurably faster, abundantly clearer, and vastly easier to manage. So I challenge you, look around your own workspace today. Where are you going to start your very first sort? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go out there and engineer a better environment.